guys, it's Sabina again with another episode of Beanie Bits. My question today is how are you showing up? Are you showing up as an original, as you really are? Or are you showing up as a copy? Are you imitating somebody else? I mean, for me, for the longest time, um, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to show up. I was just there. I went through the motions. I was the mom, I was the wife, I was the army spouse, all of those things. But then I just showed up. And I was in a lot of physical and emotional pain. So I put on this mask, right? I mean, I showed up, but I didn't show up as me. It took me a while, and now I'm showing up authentically me. I am who I am. You know, I like the word gooder because it's funner, right? And when I first started the word gooder, people was like, that's not a word. I was like, well, it's in my world. And because it's in my world, now it's a word, right? And but it was all in fun for me anyway, you know. And to me, when you see me, I'm all about rainbows and unicorns because to me, rainbow is a color, unicorns are real, right? And it's just fun. I just wanna have fun. So when I show up and when I talk to people, you can usually tell it's like, "Ooh, she's having a rough day today," or it's like, "Oh, look at her. She's in a really good mood." So my question is, how are you showing up? Are you showing up and being authentically you? Your true you, not putting on a facade so people will like you, so people will think the right things about you, so people will whatever, right? To fit in, to appease the people around you, you know. How are you showing up? How are you showing up? The way you show up, are you comfortable with that? It's not really you. Or are you trying to fit in? Are you trying to imitate somebody? You know, I don't know. There's so much out there, and it's like, oh, look, and it's like when I go on social media, I mean, I look at the people, and the vast majority, it's like you can tell it's fake. It's not real. When you look behind what they're putting out, a lot of them are sad and miserable, right? But they're not dealing. I mean, maybe they're dealing with it, but I don't know. But I don't think a lot of them are dealing with what's really going on, and they continue to put on the facade. And when you put on the facade, trying to fit in, trying to put fit here and there and everywhere, you get lost. And in the end, you are more miserable than ever. How do I know? Because I've been there. Been there, done that, right? It's not a good place to be. Be you. Be authentically you. You are amazing as you are. You have so much to offer. You have so much to give. And when you're authentically yourself, the right people will come to you. The people that you actually want to attract that align with you and who you are and what you stand for, they will come and you will attract them. But if you put on this fake facade, and trying to fit into this group and that group and this group, you know, the right people can't find you because you keep changing and the universe doesn't know who to send you, right? And I remember when I was in boarding school in Germany, and I have to say those were the best years of my life. It was a co-ed boarding school because I wasn't gonna go just girls, but I also knew that I couldn't stay at home. I needed to get out, and boarding school was an option, and the state paid for me to go, and I never belonged to any group. And for a long time I was like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And I tried to fit in, but I didn't because it wasn't who I am. I had friends in every group, right? But I didn't belong to a certain group or clique or whatever you want to call it because it just wasn't, it didn't sit right with me. But I also, as I was getting older and it's like, well, I don't want to be alone. I want friends, so I adapted. So I changed who I was and what I said, just to fit into certain groups. And it worked for a while, but I was miserable inside. I was like, I was missing something. It was just not right. until I decided, you know what? I cannot please everybody. You cannot please everybody. And you shouldn't try to please everybody. You should work on you. What is right for you? Who are you? Who do you want to show up as? Are you authentic? Authenticity is so big because when you're authentic, you attract the right people. It is so incredible. It's so much fun too. So be authentic, be authentically you. Don't be a copy of something or somebody else. Don't change who you are just to fit in a certain group because you think you want to fit in there, right? If it doesn't resonate with you, it's probably not you. Who are you? Authentically you. Unapologetically, authentically you. Show up as you. Show up as you. It is so liberating. It feels so good. Show up as you. It's so good. And you are amazing. You are so amazing. So anyway, be authentically you. And this is it for today. And I'll be back on Monday. You all have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Have fun. Be authentic. So I'll see you on Monday. Have a good one. Bye.